Okay, so let's just proceed. Okay, so let's just recall the concepts that were discussed a week ago. So basically, we considered vectors, particularly the operation of vectors. No, I'll just go over very quickly the operations. There are two operations that I was not able to discuss in details yet, but I will discuss that in another session. Okay. So so far, if you are given, by the way, no, we have a vector. Um, so you can determine a vector using 2 points. So let's say in in two dimension, okay, in two dimension, if you are given p sub 1, let's say x sub 1, y sub 1, and then you have p sub 2 with coordinate x sub 2, y sub 2, then we can always construct a vector, and we can call this as a vector u, okay, where u, the vector u, will be determined by the components. We have terminal coordinates minus the initial coordinates. So that's going to be x sub 2 minus x sub 1, and then you have y sub 2 minus y sub 1 for the first component and the second components. Of course, you can extend this to the standard form. No? So we said that there is a corresponding vector. There is a corresponding vector that will be in terms of u also. Okay. So this is in u in this case is in the standard position, meaning the initial point is the origin. Okay. So to simplify our operations, we always consider your vectors to be in standard position, meaning it has to originate from the origin. Okay. And then we consider two ways of writing your vector. Of course, this one is in component form. This is the component form. Or you can write this, for example, if you can simplify this as AB, where x sub 2 minus x sub 1 is A, and then B is y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So we'll say the vector U has the components A and B. Okay? And then you can write this as a linear combination of the unit vectors. So you have actually the the vector I with components 1, 0. You have J as 0, 1. So your U, the vector U here can be written as AI plus BJ. Okay? Of course, in 3 dimension, your I will be 1, 0, 0. J will be 0, 1, 0. And there's the other unit vector K, which is 0, 0, 1 component. Okay? Actually, in general, no? In general, you have the unit vector is E sub K para lang hindi tayo malito. Let's say E sub T. Okay. So you'll have 0, 0, and then 1, and so on. Okay. This is the component t. Okay, the tth component is 1. Okay, so actually this is the same as E1. This is also E2 in general, no? If we are now talking about the general vector space, n space, then we'll actually run out of the letters I, J, K. So we'll denote it as E sub 1, E sub 2, E sub 3, E sub 4, and so on. Okay? So the operations, okay, the operations that we considered so far are you have the sum and difference, okay? The sum or the difference, where, for example, if you are given U to be AB and V is CD, okay? Then you'll have the U plus B equal to A plus C. The first component is A plus C, and then B plus D for the second component, and the difference UV will be A minus C and B minus D. In other words, the ordinary sum and the difference will be applied in the components. Okay? And then we have products. Okay, we have products. The simplest product that we had actually is the scalar product. Okay, so scalar product, wherein given, let's say, the vector U and let's say R is a scalar or a real number, then RV, okay, the vector RV will be obtained by RA, RB. You just multiply the components by R. And what is the corresponding geometry of this? Well, it results to either contraction or dilation. Contraction if R is less than 1, dilation if R is greater than 1. Dilation or elongation, no? Okay, these are the two other product that I was not able to discuss in details. You have the dot product. Okay, you have the dot product. By the way, for the scalar product, we are multiplying a scalar and a vector. The product is another vector. Okay, again, a scalar multiplied to a vector generates another vector, particularly a vector that will be parallel to V or will be coincident with V, meaning in the same direction as V. Okay, for the dot product, let's say U dot V, okay, this will be obtained. So assuming that U has the components AB, while V has the component CD, so that's going to be the dot product AB dot CD. Okay, this will be obtained by the product A times C plus B times D. Okay, so AC, the product AC is actually just a constant now. BD is another constant, so the sum, we have sum of two constants here. So that's just going to be a constant. Okay. So while in the first operation, I emphasize that a scalar times a vector is a vector. It generates a vector. This time, the dot product will generate a scalar. Vector, dot product a vector. Nawala ako. Vector times another vector is a scalar using the dot product, no? Okay? Vector, dot product, a vector, a scalar. Okay? So for example, to be more precise, no, let's say U, let's say is 3i plus 2j. Of course, you can write this as 3, 2. And then you have the vector v equal to, let's say, 4i minus 5j. So in terms of components, you'll have 4, negative 5. So these are two vectors. So if you're going to consider the dot product UV, okay, what will be the dot product? That's going to be 3 times 4 plus 2 times negative 5. Okay? So that's going to be 12 minus 10, which is 2. So 2 here is scalar. It's no longer a vector. Okay? Yeah. Of course, as I said, you can extend this to the 3 dimension. Let's say U is equal to I plus 2j plus 3k. And then you have another vector. Let's say 2i minus 3j plus k. What will be the dot product u dot v? So just multiply the corresponding components. So this is just going to be 1 times 2, okay? And then plus 2 times negative 3 plus 3 times 1. Remember the vector u is 1, 2, 3, while the vector v is 2, negative 3, 1. So you just multiply the components. So simplifying, what do we get here? That is 3 minus 6 plus 3. That is equal to, tama ba? 1 times 2 is 2. Okay. This is going to be negative 1. Tama ba? It's negative 1. So again, from a vector in 3 dimensions, from 2 vectors in 3 dimensions, we get a scalar, just a real number, negative 1. Okay. There's a special property here that if the dot product of two vectors UV is 0, then we say, ano na? They are, we say U and V are orthogonal. Okay? If the dot product is 0, they are orthogonal. Well, orthogonal is just a more technical term for perpendicular. Okay? So two vectors are perpendicular if and only if their dot product is 0. Any questions so far? There is the third operation. We have the cross product. Okay? There's a cross product. Thank you. are being visited by our department teacher. Okay, so again, let us recall for the cross product. For the cross product, so as I emphasized, now for the first product, scalar times a vector, you get a vector. Vector dot product of vector is scalar. Okay. How about as you will see later, we want to obtain an operation wherein the operation will be closed along the vectors, meaning you multiply two vectors and you get another vector. And that's what we defined earlier as the cross product. No? So for the two dimension, if you have the vector u as in two dimension, no? For the vector u that is defined as with components a, b, and v is cd, then the dot product, the cross product, I should say, cross product ub will be, okay, in anticipation that's supposed to be a vector. So you have the 3 by 3 determinant ij, so that's going to be ab. Okay, AB, CD. Okay, so ABC. Or if you are going to define U as a vector in 3-dimensional, of course, you have, let's say, A, B, C, and then V is D, E, F. Then your cross product, A cross B, okay, will be, I should say, this will be, the first row will be I, J, K, and then you'll have A, B, C, and then D, E, F. We'll consider the determinant later. Okay, so basically these are the three products that we had considered so far. I'm trying to refresh you of this because these are important in the definitions of lines and space, which will be our focus now.
Sir,
Yeah,
so for two dimensions, you take the determinant of I of I, J, K, and C.
yeah.
How do you take the determinant of a non-square wave of a non-square matrix?
Ano daw?
How do you take the determinant for
You just get the determinant here, the usual 2 by 2 determinant, and then attach the ing. We'll check. We'll see the illustration later. But we did this earlier. Okay, so going back now to our topic, which is on the determination of the equation of a line. If you recall, in the two-dimensional geometry, you have several ways of writing the equation of a line. Can you still recall? How do you write the equation of a line in two dimension? Ax plus by. How do you call that? I think from your Math 101, I think you have 7 ways of writing a line. You have the 2-point form, the point slope form, the slope intercept form, the normal line, the general form, the standard form, and so on. Okay, so you have a lot of ways. These are ways of generating the equation of a line. Okay, but basically, if you just base it in geometry, you need only 2 points to generate the equation of a line. It depends on the given. It depends on the given. Now, for space geometry, okay, space geometry, relying on the vector determined by the point and the line, we'll consider 2 equations of a line. These are the parametric form and the symmetric form, which will rely on the presence of the vector. Remember, as I mentioned before, yung vector is non-locational. Okay, you can always draw a vector in any location in the space or in the two dimension, yet is still referring to the same vector. Unlike when you say a directed line that is unique per position. Okay, pero ang vector, it is infinitely available in position in any position. That's why when we determine the equation of a line space, considering that through a point, through a single point, there are infinitely many lines that can be constructed. Okay? So how are we going to determine a single equation of a line given only a single point? Then we'll have to consider the direction of the line, and that direction is determined by the vector. That's why in the first week of this module, we focus basically on how we study or how we deal with the vectors in both 2-dimension and 3-dimension, because eventually this will be very important when we consider lines and space, line and planes, okay, that are drawn in the 3-dimension. Okay. Okay. Now we define the equation of a line. Okay. So, well, let us focus first on the 3-dimension. So you have the line L here. Okay. You have the line L here. The question now is, what is the equation of that line? Of course, the 7 forms that I mentioned earlier can no longer be applied, basically because we are now in the 3-dimensional coordinate system. As I said, what we will need to consider here is the vector that is positioned in the standard position. So what's a vector in standard position again? Its initial point should be at the origin. Okay? And for any vector that is not in standard position, there's always a vector that is equivalent to that vector. That's why what we will consider is to identify the vector that is equivalent or that is that has the same direction as our line L. Okay, so the vector, let's say the vector has the components A, B, C. Of course, how do you get the A, B, C? Okay, the coordinates of the terminal point minus the coordinates of the initial point. Okay, so you just get x minus x sub 1, y minus y sub 1, z minus a sub 1. Those should be your A, B, and C. Okay. Yeah. Once you get that, so this time you have a point. You in this case you are given only a point. Okay. So the big question here is, what is the equation of that line? So kung sa geometry, kukulangin tayo kasi sa geometry sinasabi niya, you need 2 points to determine the equation of a line. Okay? Now to compensate on this, that's why we will need now to consider the concept of a vector. So we have the vector determined by the direction ABC. Okay, so ABC being the components of the parallel vector will be called actually the direction numbers. Okay, and then of course you have the coordinates of the given point, x sub 1, y sub 1, and z sub 1. So the equation, just to summarize, no, you'll have the 2 equations, or the equation in 2 forms. First, you have the parametric equation. Okay, you have x, any point x. Remember, the line for this line, the x sub 1, y sub 1, z sub 1 is the fixed point here, and we are actually generating points q, wherein x, y, and z are variable points here. So how do you locate the coordinate x, y, and z? Ito lang yung sinasabi niya, no? The points whose coordinate x will be given by x sub 1 plus a t. Okay? where t is any scalar or any real number. Okay? Similarly, your y will be generated by the initial point or the initial second coordinate y sub 1 plus a multiple of the direction vector b. Similarly, your z will be generated by the third coordinate z sub 1 plus a multiple of the direction number c. So it's common, the t is common here. Okay? Yeah, so that's what we call the parametric equation. Now, if you try to solve for t, if you try to write t in these three equations, you generate the symmetric form. For example, coming from this equation, if you solve for t, what do you get? That's x minus x sub 1 is equal to 80. Therefore, x minus x sub 1 over a is equal to t. Similarly, in the second equation, you'll have y minus y sub 1 is equal to b sub t. So that y minus y sub 1 over b is equal to t. And then, on the third equation, z minus z sub 1 over c. So I will not go into the details of that. That will be equal to t. And remember, the t is common to all the three equations. So all the t's must be equal to each other. So the t here must be equal to the t here, and it should also be the same t here. That's why we have the continuous equation here that x minus x sub 1 over a, this is one value of t, should be equal to y minus y sub 1 over b. That's another value of t. Okay, and then it should also be equal to z minus z sub 1 over c. That's another value. Okay. Okay. One reason why we call this symmetric is because of the symmetric property of the equality. Like if a is equal to b, then b is equal to a. Remember, so that means that all these three values can be used interchangeably, or you can use one value instead of the other. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the illustration here. Okay. So the same problem, no? So usually this is how you deal with this type of problem. You're only given a line, okay? You're only given a line, you're only given a point with coordinates, okay? You're given the coordinates of a point, okay? And then you are given a vector in certain direction, which is in standard position, no? It's automatic that the vector given should be in standard position. Okay? So, ito yung magiging reference nyo kasi ito yung vector. Remember, multiplying the vector by any scalar will actually just run along the line of the vector. It either dilates, shortens, or just go to the other direction, depending on the scalar that will be multiplied to it. Okay? So basically, when you follow the direction of that, you will generate this line. Okay? So again, let me emphasize, for these problems that you will encounter, usually it is the point that is given and the direction vector with the direction numbers. So your burden now is to find the equation of the line. You can give the equation of a line in two forms. What are they? Parametric or symmetric. Of course, once you obtain the parametric, there's no reason for you not to be able to find the symmetric form. Okay? Okay, so let's look at the situation here, no? So you are given the point. So given the point P with coordinates 1, -2, 4. And then you have the direction vector with components 2, 4, -4. Okay? So you can go immediately into the parametric form. Etong coordinates ng PDs are automatically x sub 1, y sub 1, z sub 1. And the components of the direction vector will be A, B, and C. Okay? So based from that theorem, okay, 11.11, you can outright write the parametric form. So how do you write the parametric form of the line? Okay, what is the parametric form of L? The parametric equation should be in three equations. Okay, always it comes in three equations, the x, y, and z. No, hindi pwedeng x lang. Okay, so x first will be again by theorem 11.11, it's supposed to be x sub 1 plus b t. Okay, so that's going to be A, I should say. I'm just checking if you are right on track with me. Okay. So x sub 1 plus 80. Okay, para lang mas malinaw. Okay. Akala ko din yung mapapansin. Sure. Okay, x sub 1 is 1 plus 2t. Okay, so x is equal to 1 plus 2t. How about y? By theorem 11.11, it's supposed to be y plus bt. Okay, so y1 is negative 2 plus 40. Okay, and then z is z sub 1 plus ct, and that you will get 4 minus 40. Okay? So ito yung parametric form. Okay. In your seat for 60 seconds, generate the symmetric form. For those online, you can write your answer in the chat. What's the first quantity? That is x minus 1 over 2. Okay, are you with me? That should be equal to y plus 2 over 4. Following? Oy, following. Very good. And then the last quantity will be z minus 4 over negative 4. Okay? Of course, you can rewrite this, okay, in the form x minus 1 over 2 is equal to y plus 2 over 4 is equal to negative z minus 4 over 4. Any questions so far? Those online, were you able to follow it? Thumbs up. Those online, thumbs up if you were able to follow. Okay. So we'll have more examples at the end of this lecture. But for now, I'd like to move to the next topic, which is planes. Okay? So if you have a line, then you can always extend that into a two-dimensional quantity also, which is a plane. Okay? So you have a typical geometry here. So the pink, the shaded object there is actually a surface, a flat surface. Basically, it's what we call as a plane. Okay. So again, the scenario is you are given a point on the plane and a vector. Okay, and a vector. Same question, what is the equation of the plane? Okay, what is the equation of you still remember how you write the equation of a plane in Math 146, I think, Math 146. Yeah, ax plus by plus cz is equal to 0. Okay, you have the three variables. Okay. Okay, so in reference now to the usual scenario for plane equations here, okay, you are given a point P, okay, you are given a point P, and then you have a normal vector. Normal vector is just the orthogonal vector which we defined earlier. A vector, two vectors are said to be orthogonal if their dot product is 0. Okay. So that's basically orthogonality. Is a more technical term for the perpendicularity. No? Okay, so we want to generate all the points on the pink on the shaded surface there. We want to generate all the points on that surface or on that plane, and it will be okay. On that plane, take note, on that plane, you will find infinitely many vectors also. But these vectors are all parallel with each other because they are lying on the same plane. So what we want here, okay, since there are infinitely many vectors that are parallel, we want just a single vector that will identify the vectors along that plane. And that's what we call the normal vector. Meaning, that is the vector that is directed perpendicular to the surface. Parang tutusukin mo yung plane by a perpendicular line. Okay? So that's actually the normal vector. Okay, this is your normal vector. That is supposed to be the vector that is perpendicular to the entire surface. Okay? So yun yung given. Okay, yun yung isang given. The components of the normal vector, A, B, and C. Okay, pass your papers. Naka-login ka. You're also in the online. Okay. Okay, so given those two quantities, you are given the point P and then the normal vector A, B, C. You can already write the equation of the plane by getting the dot product. Okay, the dot product of the normal vector and any vector on that plane. Okay, any vector on that plane. So, kukuha lang kayo ng any vector. As I said, all vectors with the same direction here will be parallel on that plane. So pag nag-dot product, by orthogonality condition, their dot product should be 0. Okay? So, ayun. Yung vector PQ, remember the vector PQ, if, okay, yung vector PQ natin dyan, okay, the terminal point is Q, the terminal point, the initial point is P. So by the formula that I mentioned earlier, the components of vector PQ will be X minus X sub 1. Okay. Second component will be Y minus Y1. The third component will be Z minus Z1. Kaya merong kaya ito yung pinang-dot product natin doon sa normal vector ABC. Thank you, sir. So anong the corresponding okay, so with that, this is going to be the equation of the plane already. Okay? So again, it comes from the dot product. Okay? Vector times vector is a scalar, but that scalar is 0 this time. Okay? So we summarize this in the following theorem, 11.12. You are given a point P and a vector N. So that should be the normal vector. Okay? The general form will be the same as what we had in Math 146. AX plus BY plus CZ plus D is equal to 0. Okay. Okay, let's look at the problem here. You are given a surface, a plane, okay, determined by two vectors. Okay, determined by two vectors. This is vector U. Okay, and then you have vector V. Okay, you have vector V. Okay. Sige. So, let's summarize. To be able to determine the equation of a line, we need a point and the components of the normal vector. Okay? Dito sa problem na to, you are given 3 points. So, sobra actually. Okay? Sobra yung binigay. You need only 1 point. Okay? Now, you have to be very careful in choosing your points. Okay? Let's say A, B, C. Okay? A, B, C. Basing on the figure, no? Basing on the figure, we define the two vectors U and V with A as the common initial point. Okay? A with coordinates 2, 1, 1 as the common point. So that will serve as your point P in the theorem. Diba? Sa theorem 11.12, kailangan mong mamili ng isang point. Okay? Mamili ng isang point. Tanong, ay bakit hindi pwede yung, let's say, B o di kaya yung C? Kasi, hindi doon na-define yung dalawang vectors. Halimbawa, meron tayong vector dito. Okay? Kung maglalagay tayo dito ng vector, let's say, vector W, okay, then you can define also, you can define or you can find the equation of that plane later using this time the vector V and W. But in as much as we are using the vector U and V here, see, and they share a common initial point at A, then we have to impose A as our point P. Okay? So, meron na tayong point P doon sa theorem 11.12. So, okay na tayo dyan. Susunod, yung N. Okay? Ano yung N? Ano yung vector N? We need the cross product actually. The cross product of two vectors will be the result of the cross product is actually a vector that is perpendicular to the plane determined by the two vectors. Okay? Basta physics yung if you have two vectors, yung rotation nila pataas. Okay? So that's the cross product of the two vector. the cross product of the two vectors will be the vector directed orthogonal or perpendicular to the plane of the two vectors. Okay, so that's what we are going to do, no? That's what we are going to do. Okay na tayo dun sa given point. So problemahin natin itong normal vector na yan. The normal vector, okay? Find the normal vector n using the cross product A cross V. Okay? A cross B. So that's going to be, what is U? What is U based on the figure? Ha? Ito, U. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then you'll have the vector V is terminal minus initial coordinate. That is negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. And then 0 minus 1 is negative 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. So those are the two vectors, U and V. Tapos siya yung i-cross product natin. So actually this is going to be negative 1, 3, 0. Negative 1, 3, 0. Cross product on negative 4, negative 1, 3. Okay? So, paano natin kinukuha yan? That is J, K. Tapos, negative 1, 3, 0. Negative 4, negative 1, 3. Okay? To get the determinant here, pwede nyong kopyahin yung first two lines. Okay? Or first two rows. So let's say J, negative 1, negative 4, 3, negative 1. Tapos, main diagonals minus secondary diagonal. Ang main diagonals natin will be mali. Okay. Ang mga main diagonal natin is these three diagonals here. Okay? And then we also have the secondary diagonals. You have the secondary diagonals here. Okay? So get the sum of the main diagonal products minus the sum of the secondary diagonals. Okay, so ano yung nasa main diagonals? Okay, that is 3 times 3 times I. So that's actually, wait. That will be 9I. Ito. Sige, ganito na lang. Pag minultiply natin to, this is 9I. Pag minultiply natin to, that is 0J. Because there is a factor 0. And then on K, that is negative 1 times negative 1. So that is K. Okay? Sa kabila, doon sa kabila, that is going to be negative 12K. This is 0J. And then negative, wait. I. 0i, tama? And then, negative 3j. Following. Okay? So, una, pagsamasamahin natin yung main diagonal. Sa main diagonal, you'll have 9i plus 0j plus k minus yung mga secondary diagonal, negative 12k plus 0i minus 3j. So this gives us, okay, i-rewrite ko lang in that order, 9i plus 0j plus k minus 0i minus 3j minus 12k. If you're going to simplify this, what do you get? That's going to be 9i plus 3j plus 13k. Okay? So your n will actually be the vector 9, 3, 13. Follow? 9, 3, 13. Okay? Okay, so if you go back to Theorem 11.12, we are now settled with the normal vector n. We are given the point x sub 1, y sub 1, z sub 1. So it's just a matter of generating the standard form already. So let's find the equation. Okay, so based from theorem 11.12, there's supposed to be 8 times x minus x sub 1 plus b times y minus y sub 1 plus c times z minus z sub 1 is equal to 0. Okay? And what do we get here? What is a? What is a? 9. The first component of the normal vector, 9 times x minus x sub 1. What is x sub 1? 2. Ito yon, 2, 1, 1. Okay, that's the common initial point of the vectors u and b from which you obtain the cross product to find the normal vector. Okay? 9 times x minus 2 plus 3 times y minus 1 plus 13 times z minus 1 is equal to 0. So it's just a matter of simplifying now. We'll have 9x minus 18 plus 3y minus 3 plus 13z minus 13 is equal to 0. When simplified, this is 9x plus 3y plus 13z minus 34. Tama? Okay. So that's going to be the equation of the line. Okay, for purposes of discussion, no? So as I said a while ago, what if, okay, what if ang kinonsider natin ay yung vector W. Okay? So, dito pala. Can you give me the components of W? Mali. Wait. Huwag na lang ito. Dito na lang tayo. Okay? So let's define this as W. And then, okay. Yung V, medyo magpapalit tayo sa V, no? Kasi ito yung magiging common point natin ngayon. Okay? So, V, okay. Para alternative, um, okay, consider the point -204 as our P sub 1. Okay, P sub 1. So, ang mangyari dyan, meron tayong two vectors, V and W. V will have the initial point -204 and terminal point 211. So, what will be the components now of V? Ito na ngayon, yung V ngayon magta-terminate dito sa 211, pero ang initial niya is -204 na ngayon. So it's going to be 4, 1, -3. Correct?
Yes, sir. Zero pa lang.
Ano na?
Zero. Wait,
2 minus 2 is 2 plus 2 is 4. And then 1 minus 0 is 1. And then 1 minus 4 is -3. Okay? How about W? W, the vector W will have initial point also at -204, terminal point at 141. So that's going to be 1 minus 2 is 3. 4 minus 0 is 4. 1 minus 4. Tama? -3 din. Okay? Ano yung n natin ngayon? Your n this time will be V cross W. Tama ba? Tama yung W, no? Any question? Okay, so this is going to be, wait. I, J, K, that is 4, 1, -3, 3, 4, -3. Okay? Sige. Okay, let's look at the diagonal products. Okay? This is -3i, -9j, 16k. Okay? Dito, 3k, -12i, -12j. So your n the vector n will now have negative 3i minus 9j plus 16k minus, i-rearrange ko lang ha, negative 12i minus 12j plus 3k. So what is n? That is 9i, negative 9j plus 12j. That is 3j. Okay? Plus 13k. Okay? Pareho lang ba? 9, 3, 13. Okay? So you actually get the same direction vector or direction numbers 9, 3, 13. Okay? But of course, the equation will differ because we are now at a different point. Okay. So the equation of the line, okay, the equation of not L, the plane L, okay, the equation of plane L will be 9 times x minus, ito yung ang gagamitin natin. Okay? So that's going to be x minus minus 2. So that is x plus 2 plus 3 times y minus 0 plus 13 times z minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay? So you'll have 9x plus 18 plus 3y plus 13z minus 42. Correct? 13 times 4, 52. Tama ba? 52. Okay? So you'll get, if you simplify, this will be 9x plus 3y plus 13z. Negative 52 will combine with 8, positive 18. That is negative 34 is equal to 0. So you still get the same equation. Okay? You still get the same equation. 9x plus 3y plus 13z minus 34 is equal to 0. So you don't need to worry about where the points you are picking. Just be very careful with the vectors that will be considered in determining your normal vector n. Okay? So again, for the purposes of discussion, suppose ito ang gusto nyong gamitin, 1 for 1. How will you get the vector n? You'll get the cross product of W and U. Pero mag-iiba yung components ng dalawang vector kasi ang initial point nyo ngayon is 1 for 1 for W. Initial point is 1 for 1. Terminal point is negative 204. For U, initial point is 1 for 1. Terminal point is 211. Okay? So you'll get, actually sa U, mag-change lang yung signs. No? And you should still get the same vector. The same equation of the plane. Okay, so I'll just continue with the rest of the slides next meeting. Any question? I forgot to bring the exam results. I'll give it back on Wednesday.